Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's Traveling in Ireland broadcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 reasons you should attend Temple Bar TradFest in Dublin. Hey, everyone, my name is Jody Halstead, and I am the traveler, podcaster, Ireland fanatic behind Ireland Family Vacations and the Traveling in Ireland podcast. Today's broadcast is just a little short bit of time that I come in every week to spend with you and talk with you about Ireland travel tips and just traveling in Ireland in general. Today's topic is TradFest in Dublin. Now, this is a festival that takes place every January in Dublin. It is the largest music festival in Dublin. And it's actually pretty spectacular. It's 5 days and nights of amazing music and just really great crack. So we're going to go over the just five reasons that you should maybe add this to your itinerary. And it's coming up January 2020. So now is a perfect time to start considering. Okay, are you ready? Now we're only doing 5 today. That said, there are dozens of reasons to add Temple Bar TradFest to your itinerary, but we're doing 5. Really easy. Okay, let's begin. The first reason you should add Temple Bar TradFest to your itinerary is because Dublin is just less crowded in January. This is the iconic building, which is called the Temple Bar. The area is not named for the bar, but it's a great bit of branding on the bar's part. But usually when you see pictures of the Temple Bar, especially during like St. Patrick's Day or the summer, it's just people swarmed everywhere. And when you visit in January, it's just not. You can walk those beautiful cobbled streets in Temple Bar and not, be rubbing both shoulders with people. You can visit some of Dublin's really great attractions like the Book of Kells experience and Kilmainham Jail, and just the lines, the queues will not be hours long. It's just a perfect time to visit. So number 1, it's less crowded. Reason number 2. I've got to juggle these things, and this is kind of bad because it's not as easy for me as it should be, I don't think. Anyway, okay, so reason number 2. Dublin is a walkable city. There is no need to hire a car when you visit Dublin. Everything that you want to see and do is really going to be super easy to get to on foot. Now, that said, there are some really great public transportation options in Dublin. You have public buses, you have the Luas, which is light rail, and you have taxis everywhere. Now, the one thing I do want to mention is that Uber is not available in Ireland. It is illegal for people to drive you someplace in their private car and charge you for it. That said, you will find the Uber app in Ireland, but it will order you a taxi. So another great way to get around and kind of get a feel for the city is this vintage tea tour. It's an afternoon tea on a vintage bus, and it's a great way to get around the city and just get your bearings. So Dublin is super easy to get around, no car required, and that just makes it a great getaway in January when the days are a bit shorter and you really probably don't want to drive. All right. Reason number 3, things cost less. January is it's a slower time for Ireland tourism. And because it's a slower time, the laws of supply and demand, we all know how those work, right? When there's high demand, supply diminishes. When there's lower demand, supply is greater. And when supply is greater, costs come down. So not only are you going to find really great airfare deals for Ireland in January, but you're going to find amazing hotel deals as well. And I'm going to show you, this was my room. Let me get rid of this one over here. The screen doesn't like me as much as I would like it. Okay, reason number 4. That is the weather. Now, believe it or not, I know that you're like, wait, the weather in Ireland is never great anyway. And that's kind of a misnomer, but Ireland definitely isn't known for its weather. It's not a place you visit because of the weather. It's not a place that you go to because the beaches or the sand or the sun. But Ireland in January is a lot more temperate than you might think. It just does not get as bitterly cold as so many places do. Especially, I live in the Midwest of the US, and it was brutal here last January. And when I was in Dublin, believe it or not, there was a 100-degree difference between the temperature in Dublin and the temperature here at home. So while it probably won't swing that much, it's not as cold as you think it's going to be. It's a great time for a city getaway. I was running from my hotel, the Morgan, to the pubs that were hosting musical events, and I would just dash out in a sweater. I wasn't wearing a coat. I wasn't carrying anything bulky with me. I would just dash out to the places that I was going, and I was perfectly fine. So the weather in Dublin is probably going to be a bit more moderate than you think it will be, and that makes it a terrific time to visit. And finally, the number one reason that you should visit Dublin in January for Temple Bar TradFest. The 5 reasons that I think you should visit Temple Bar TradFest in January in Dublin. Now, are there more reasons than that? Of course there are, but I think those are the 5 top reasons for you to at least consider heading over to Dublin in January for Temple Bar TradFest. As always, if you have any questions or comments, or if I can help you with any Ireland travel, just go ahead and leave a comment right down below in the show notes or the comments, and I will respond. I answer every comment and question that comes in. So I hope that has helped you. I hope that's given you a little bit of information that you might not have had regarding Dublin and Temple Bar TradFest in January. And until next time, slán go fóill.